Hey guys, how are you doing? My name is Lena and welcome to another video. So before we get started, I would like to mention one thing. Due to the current situation, I'm going to link down below in the description box ways that you can help with all the situation in the United States. I mean, it's crazy that in this day and age, we still have people murdering others due to its race. So yeah, uh, that's all I wanted to say. It's just mind blowing to me, basically. But yeah, please, if you have time, check the box down below. Have different ways of helping. So yeah, thank you. Now let's just talk about something more happy. Could we call it that? Basically, I wanted to show you today all the books that I'm going to read in June. This is fucking ridiculous, by the way, because I have already recorded this, but Kayla from Crack Into a Good Book, I love that name, it's so good, made a announcement for her readathon, so I decided to participate. So I basically rearranged all my TBR. Let's go through this. It's totally unrealistic, okay? So first of all, let me tell you about the books that I'm going to read from the 1st till the 14th of June, because that's not part of the readathon. So first, I'm reading a self-published book. This is a, what was it called? Reborn Apocalypse by M.L. Cat. And this is basically a lit RPG. This means that it combines things from video games like the amount of mana you have, the amount of strength, and that kind of thing into a narration, basically. So in this one, we're set on our Earth, but people is being kidnapped and transported to this kind of new reality where they need to pass through certain levels to actually save humanity. Yeah, it's a pretty weird thing, but I have already listened to 3 hours of the audiobook and it's been fantastic so far. But yeah, I understand that lit RPGs are not for everyone. Because especially because of that factor, you're just like, I'm going to buy upgrades and that kind of thing. So yeah. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it overall. I'm going to read The Last Mile in Sunder City by Luke Arnold. I talked about this book in my previous video. I think so, depending on when you're seeing this. This is a noir detective story about a magical world, well, basically, where basically magic disappeared. Is it in our world? Or in another world? I'm not really sure, if I'll tell you the truth. But basically magic disappeared and now we are going to follow the detective that is actually the person at fault for the magic disappearing. So yeah, it sounds really good. I'm really eager to read this one. I'm also going to read On Those Weeks Jade War by Fonda Lee. This is the sequel to Jade City that I read last month and I loved with all my heart. So I decided to keep going with the series. This is basically a gang story. It's a battle between gangs and it's set in this island that kind of reminds you of old Hong Kong, but basically we are going to follow 2 different clans. One is the No Peak clan and the other one is the Mountain, and they are facing each other for control in this city, and they have this special thing called Jade that basically enhances their abilities and makes them stronger or more perceptive, and that sort of stuff. It's super interesting. If you haven't read Jade City, I highly recommend you do. Then I have here The City We Became by Enkin Jensen. I've been wanting to read this book for a while. The only thing that I know is a kind of a urban fantasy, but I'm going to be doing something special with this one. This is going to be on a separate video, all on its own, and it's just such a weird idea, but yeah, it's basically on its basis is a reading blog, yeah, but it's going to be more than that. I will show you more once I uploaded the video, but it's basically a new series that I'm going to make that is going to be called Surviving the Aftermath. So yeah, we'll see about that. And the last book that I'm going to talk about that is outside the Olympics TBR is going to be The Dreaming Void by Peter F. Hamilton. I talked about this one also on my last video, but yeah, it's the first contact with aliens novel, and I really want to keep going with the Commonwealth Universe by Imperial Hamilton. So yeah, I'm super excited to read this one. Let's talk about the Olympics. This is a readathon hosted by Kayla, as I've told you, and it's insane. It's based, of course, on the Olympics, and it has 116 prompts to it. So but yeah, you basically gain medals throughout the whole sports, and each different type of sport. I don't really know how to explain it. I'm going to link Kayla's video down below because she does a much better job than me explaining this. But yeah, I decided to participate in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories. Okay, this is so stupid. But yeah, basically this readathon is from the 14th of June till the 19th of July. So that's why the TBR is outrageously long. We'll see what happened with this because I just went insane for a bit here. But yeah. So first up, I'm going to participate in artistic gymnastics, and the first one is balance beam. Keep your balance. Read a book from your favorite genre. So as you probably know, I have 2 favorite genres. I can choose between them. I'm sorry, just like that. The first one is sci-fi and the second one is fantasy. So for this, I'm going to choose sci-fi and I'm going to read The Demon in White by Christopher Ruocchio. This is the 3rd book in the Sun Eater series, and I have an arc of it, and I'm just like super excited to read it. So yeah, I'm definitely going to check this one out. But basically in the Sun Eater series, we follow Hadrian. He is telling us his life story, and he basically confessed that he's guilty of blowing up an entire solar system. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say because the first one is a really weird story. There's even gladiators in the first one, so yeah, you just take it out. Then horizontal bar. Read a book while being at least partially horizontal, meaning like laying in bed and stuff. So for this, I'm going to choose, it's so hot in here, oh my goodness, The Last Policeman by Ben H. Winters. I've been wanting to read this for a while, and I put it last month, so you know, it's the perfect timing for it. But yeah, I don't even have the audiobook for this, so I'm for sure going to read horizontally because I basically only read on my bed. It's really hard for me to read on a couch and such. But yeah, in this one we follow a world that is basically threatened by this asteroid that is going to hit Earth, basically. And we follow this guy who's actually the only one committed to solve this murder that happened because everyone is basically panicking because the asteroid is going to hit. But yeah, I think that I said it on my haul, but apparently with each book we get closer to the hit of the meteor. So yeah, I'm really excited. Vault. Open the vault and get the money. Read a book about a treasure hunt. For this, can this be considered that? I don't know. But in the rules, it says that if you think it counts, counts. So I'm counting. This is the Gutter Prayer by Garrett Hanrahan. I always say it wrong. But this was highly recommended by Kayla. I have so many recommended books in this list. I will tell you when they come out. But this was highly recommended by Kayla, and I've been wanting to read this since it came out last year. So I decided that it's a perfect moment for this. But we follow thieves, a group of 3 thieves, I think. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a treasure hunt. But yeah, that's the only thing that I really know about it. I knew more, but I just completely forgot over time. But yeah, and apparently it's pretty dark, leaning more towards the dark fantasy, so I'm super excited for it. Then, weightlifting. There's only one prompt in this category, meaning that if you want to get the golden medal, you have to read 3 books to fulfill that prompt. So, weightlifting. Lift those weights. Read a ponderous book. Tome. Meaning 1,500 plus pages. So for that, I have 3. I want the gold. I mean, I read really long books all the time, so I need this medal. But the first one is going to be Magician by Raymond E. Feist. I really wanted to get into this world. It's called the Riftward Saga, I believe. Not that long ago, I watched a video by Leslie at the Nerdy Narrative saying that it was fantastic, so I decided to buy it. of course. And this is a bind up of the first two novellas, Magician's Apprentice and Magician's Master. But if I tell you the truth, other than that, I don't know anything about this. So yeah, completely trusting Leslie on here. I really trust her judgment, so we are going to go for it ASAP. And it's super long. It's, let me tell you, 840 pages long. So yeah. Then the other one in this category, I have Wrath of Empire by Brian McClellan. Again, Kayla told me that the sequel to the Powdermatch trilogy is even better than the first one, so I'm super excited to keep reading the sequel. This is actually the 5th book, and in the second in the sequel. God, this is so hard. So yeah, I'm super excited. If you have never heard about the Powdermatch trilogy, you need to read that before you read this. 100%. We follow 3 different characters. One of them is Thomas, who is actually the general, and he has committed a coup and basically took control over this state. Then we follow Tanya, who is Thomas' son, and he's a general in the army. He has this special ability that when he snorts gunpowder, basically, he's able to control bullets. And then we follow, was it Adamant? I think it was called like that. He's actually a kind of detective, and he's working for Thomas to actually find out what is going on in the background of this queue, because so many things happen in the first one and in the second. It's such a fast-paced series, so if you're interested, I would highly recommend that you check it out. Almost 700 pages long. And the last one that I have for this category is Seveneves by Neil Stephenson. This is a sci-fi story about our Earth basically being almost destroyed, so humanity just gets into this ship and flee, but we follow years and years later, and a generation decides to actually go back to the Earth and find out what happened there. So yeah, this is actually on my 5-star predictions video, the same as The Last Man in Sunder City. So I'm super excited to read this because I have so high hopes for this. Then I'm not going for the goal in this one because I don't have more of these books, but because I want to read Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey, because Monica from Mooney Reads keeps saying that it's amazing, so I really want to read it. I'm going to use this for sailing, and the prompt is Skiff. Skiffs are often used for fishing. Catch a school of fish by reading a book with a school setting. So this is apparently happening on a magical school, so it's fantastic. But yeah, apparently, oh, don't die. Even though this book is often described as a murder mystery in this magical school, apparently the murder mystery is not actually the main plot of the story. So I warn you, but I'll tell you more when I actually read it. I want to do martial arts, but I'm missing a book for the first prompt, so if you have any idea, let me know, please, because I'm missing one for judo. Austin Powers is a spy. Read a book about a spy. I don't really know any books right now with a spy. None come to mind, so if you have any idea, please let me know. Even though, if I actually manage to read Wrath of Empire, I will probably continue with this series because there are spies in this one, so I'll probably continue with that. So then, karate. Karate is one of the new Olympic sports. Read a book by an author who is near to you. So this is pretty cute. Where is my book? The Peripheral by William Gibson. I have never read anything by William Gibson that I remember. I think not, but I have several of his books there. He's the author of Neuromancer, so you might know it for that. We follow Flynn, and she's working on this video game, and it's set on a futuristic setting, but when she's working on that, she discovers that a murder took place, and it's actually happened on the real world also, but she also discovers this future that is kind of apocalyptic and realized that this might not be a game at all, and that this might actually happen, so some people are starting to hunt her down. Apparently, it's a pretty kind of concise synopsis, but yeah, it sounds great. Hold on in there because we're still going. Then, where were we? The peripheral, yeah. Then we have taekwondo. Taekwondo is done in an octagonal mat, so peripheral vision is important. Read a book that's on your that's in your periphery, a book that you've been debating whether to read or not. So for this, I'm going to use Valor by John Wen. I've been trying to read this for so long, but I keep putting it down because I was fairly intimidated by the first book because there were so many characters and I had a pretty hard time following who everyone was. But yeah, I really loved the first one, so I'm really excited to continue. But yeah, I'm probably going to make it. Modern pentathlon. The first prompt is fencing. Read a fantasy book. For this, I'm going to read Lord of Chaos by Robert Jordan because I don't know, I'm a bit stupid and I decided to put every single tome that I have in this TBR. But yeah, if you've never heard about The Wheel of Time, this is book 6 in that series, and we basically follow the world where women are the only ones able to wield magic, because when men does, they basically go insane. So we have this prophecy about the dragon reborn, who's probably going to save everyone or kill everyone. You know, it's the Wheel of Time. It's super great. If you've never tried the Wheel of Time, try it. But perhaps Robert Jordan's writing might not be for you because he's very bad. He's very repetitive and a little bit overly descriptive sometimes. But yeah, keep that in mind. Then we have swimming. Read a thriller. For this, I'm going to choose Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And I know someone told me to better read this. I don't remember if it was Sophia or Lana. So if you're still into better reading this, let me know because I'm super excited for it. It's basically about a girl investigating another girl's murder that happened years ago. But yeah, I'm super excited for this one. Last Run. Read a sci-fi book, and for this I have here A Memory Called Empire by Arkady Martin. I keep hearing mixed things about this book, but I'm really excited for it. It's been on my radar for a long time, so yeah, I'm super excited to jump into it actually. In this one, we basically follow this ambassador, and when she reaches her new job, basically, she discovers that her predecessor was murdered, and she's trying to investigate what happened. So yeah, that's roughly it. I'm super excited for this one actually. If you wanted to read like really new kind of sci-fi opera, don't kill yourself. Then fencing. The first prompt is full. Tinfoil is shiny. Read a book with a shiny cover. For this, I'm going to read The Passage by Justin Cronin because the edition that I own has like sparkles on the cover for some reason, super shimmery. So I'm counting this. The Passage is basically a post-apocalyptic novel where vampires killed everyone and humans are trying to survive. Whoa, that's the shortest explanation that I have ever given about The Passage. Then, I don't really know how this is said. But basically, stick them with the pointy end. Read one of the SciFi Awards winners. This is, if you have never heard about it, it's basically a competition that is held on the Reddit for fantasy, r/fantasy, and they're super fun all the time. So yeah, for this, I'm not actually going to choose. I wanted to choose best indie book, but I have already read those. So I decided to go with the best novel of 2016, which was Morning Star by Pierce Brown. I really want to finish this series because I have like an okay opinion of the first one. I have a great opinion of the second one, so I really want to see if the whole series comes together in the third one. So yeah, I'm probably going to read this. This is actually the third book in the Red Rising trilogy. If you've never heard about it, it's pretty a bit hard to explain, but basically we have this civilization, this futuristic civilization where society is organized based on colors, and the reds are the lowest class, of course, and the gold are the highest class. And we follow a red one called Darrow, who's basically trying to start a revolution. let's say it that way. Then the last one is Saber. Cutlass is a type of saber. Read a book featuring pirates. And for this, I'm going to read in the book It's called Where Loyalties Lie by Rob J. Hayes. I read a couple of Rob J. Hayes books and I've been really enjoying them, so I'm going to read this one. I'm not a huge lover of pirates, but we'll try this. This was actually the winner of the SPFBO for 2018, 2017. I don't really remember right now. I'm going to read it on my Kindle, by the way, because I'm not sure if I'm going to love it. So I don't like to buy all the books that I'm not sure about. So yeah, that was my completely not going to be completed TBR for the month of June and part of July, of course. Remember that this is going also in July, so in my mind, I will read all of this and probably add more, so I can keep with the competition. But it might not happen. So yeah, how many works were there? Apparently there are 21 works. This is so not going to happen. But yeah, that's going to be all for today. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!